Welcome back, my friends. Oh, welcome back, my friends. Hey, hey. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back, my friends. Hey, hey. Okay, I'm a nerd. I get it. I'm starting to think that I had too much coffee today. I'm just very excited. Okay, if you can't tell, same sweater as my last video. And if you haven't seen my last video about my plan with me for 2018, I'm gonna link it. But same sweater. I did all this on the same day because, you know, that seemed easier. But today's video is all about January. I love January. January is one of my favorite months. I think because of that fresh start feeling, even though it's a mentality, for me, I love going, ugh, and just letting go of everything I carried last year and just starting over with goals, a clean book, a new deal. So January is just this bright, light, happy time for me. And instead of me rambling on for another 10 million years, let me just hand you over to the voiceover. Okay, I have to first start out by pointing out my Harry Potter books in the shot. They're actually holding my camera up. What are you gonna do, right? This is the Lecterm 1917 hardcover dot journal, my personal favorite notebook for bullet journaling. I forgot to mention last time, this notebook has 2 bookmarks, which is amazing. I always use one for my monthly calendar and then one for my weekly spread. For this month's theme, I decided to take some inspiration from my recent trip to Portland. I fell in love with the landscape, so I want to do a mountain pine tree theme. And for that, I'm going to be using a lot of gray and a lot of green. I'm going to be using a lot of Tombows and Stabilos for this spread. For example, this is the Tombow N65. I'm going to link all the pens I use for you guys below to make it easier so you don't have to scramble to write these numbers down. For my title page, I'm doing, of course, calligraphy. Recently just started to re-pick up this hobby and I'm really enjoying it and I'm getting so much better at it. Guys, just keep practicing. And then I also wanted to put a mountain doodle on the main page. I found this little doodle on Pinterest and I'm just copying it, full disclosure. But hey, still like an artist, right? The best part about this little doodle, I love the shading that the original artist did. So I took a little of that shading. They do these lines and dots, lines and dots, and it just looks so graphic and beautiful. But I also decided to put a little snowy shadow with my Tombow. And then for the trees, I'm using my green Tombows, and they're just these cute, easy, simple little stick trees. I see these often, and I love them. These little trees have been one of my favorite little doodles to do. And there, I like it. Very simple, but for a main page, I really like it. Okay, on my first page, I'm going to set up a January goals section. I started to use a font and a title that I ended up not liking at all. I'll show it to you, but I just didn't like it. So I'm going to show you later in the video how to go back and change it or correct it. It's some bullet journal tricks I've picked up over the years. And then I'm going to flip back to the goals I made at the beginning of the year and think of some smaller goals that I think will help me achieve those bigger goals. This is one of my favorite tactics to goal setting, is think of the big crazy dream you want to have or do or see, and then break it down into smaller actionable steps that you can actually control. Okay, and on the next page, I'm going to put something I call the here list. It's just a to-do list. It's something I've been doing for years. I don't even know why I started calling it the here list, but I think in my mind it means start here with things you need to get done. And these are just tasks I need to accomplish. And I wound up using a font that I really liked for the here list. And of course the little trees I used on the first page. And I really like how that looked. I think I'm going to carry that over into other titles later. For my next page, I'm going to put the monthly calendar for January. I like to see the whole month at one glance, so I put a calendar page pretty early on, and I actually use this page a little differently than most people use their calendar spreads, and we'll talk about that later. But decoratively, I kind of figured out how big the calendar is going to be, and I decided I wanted to put a mountain range on this page too.
And I'm so sorry I didn't position myself so that you can actually see the mountain range. I'm still kind of new at this downshot filming, so forgive me. Okay, and now I'm gonna go back and put in the calendar. And for me, I do a weird kind of a count. I go 3 dots over from the right-hand side, 2 dots over from the left-hand side, and that's the width. And then I go all the way to the bottom, 1 dot up. And then my title's at the top, it's 2 dots down. Sorry, the math is a little convoluted, but I promise it works. And this will give you 7 by 7 squares for each day of the week. And again, you cannot see what I'm doing, so sorry, still learning. Okay, and when you do the numbers for your dates, double check yourself because it is such a pain in the butt to fix, but it's fixable, but it's better if you just do it right the first time, so double check yourself. See, double checking myself. And then for the top, I decided I wanted to do the same font that I used for the here list. I just liked how it looked. And for me, the week begins on Monday. And like I said, I use my monthly calendar a little differently than most people. I like to use this to track my habits and my achievements. And I'll use a different color for each thing that I'm tracking. For example, working out will be one color, career will be another color. And I'll use this as a key. And every time I do something for my career, I'll write it down on the date. Every time I do a workout, I'll use a little gray box to symbolize that I worked out that day. And that will be kind of a quicker glance for me for tracking a habit. I've tried other trackers in the past, and I found them just difficult to maintain and just always going back to that page. So this is something I kind of figured out to simplify. And here I decided to do something I've seen one of my other favorite bullet journalers on YouTube and track my YouTube views and subscribership. So just a little YouTube tracker right there. I'm gonna give that a go this month. I'm not gonna start my weekly spread just yet because I'd like to do a specialized page for this month. I won't do this every month. This is just for January. Every January, I start spring cleaning early. I know it's early, it's not spring yet, but I love to spring clean, so I get excited. I make a list. I'm gonna go with the font I used for the here list again. I'm just really loving that font. And then of course I'm gonna put some trees around it so it ties all the pages together. Little tree here, little tree here. Just a happy little tree and a happy tree here. Okay, for the spring cleaning list, maybe this is crazy, but what I do is I will write down each room and then make a giant list of everything I notice in that room that needs to be cleaned. I'll go back and do this later, and I'll post those pictures on Instagram if you guys want to see. And that brings us to our first weekly spread. I'm going to do this weekly spread the same way that I always do. I'm pretty habitual about it. I'm going to mix it up probably later this year, but for right now, I'm just going to do things the way I normally do. And of course, I'm going to use that same font that I use for the other pages, and man, I love this font. There's something about it that just really fits well with the mountain look. And I'm going to go in, of course, and put in some more happy trees, mixing the colors up so that each tree kind of stands out. Just a happy little tree. I think I've been watching too much Bob Ross. And for each day, I like to do a little doodle around the date information. So for this one, I'm doing letters to indicate each date, and around each letter I'm going to draw a little triangle like it's a tiny little mountain. And for the days of the week, I have to put the numerical date. I have a hard time keeping up with what day it is, and this just really helps me to always have it on there. Looks pretty cute, Kind of simple. Okay, in this little corner here that's left empty, I like putting a little miniature calendar of the month. And to do that, you're gonna go 16 dots up and 11 dots over. And that seems kind of big, but I'm actually gonna put a smaller calendar within that. I like to tie it to the rest of the theme by coloring in the top bar where I write the month, and then using the lightest color I have to indicate what week I'm in. And then in this space below is where I'm going to put some goals for the week that I haven't necessarily picked a day I'm going to do them on. So for example, I'm going to put my ukulele goal here. And then I'm going to start putting in my plans for the week. I won't bore you with all those plans, but this is how I do it. As I promised earlier, I'm going to show you how I fixed that title that I didn't like. So I have an extra lectern book hanging around. You can use any kind of paper that matches this. The back pages are perforated so you can get them out pretty easily. And I'm just going to cut it down to the right size. And normally I would use double-sided tape, but I'm out. So I'm just going to use some of this tacky glue. I'm just familiar with how it works. And I, of course, am using my fingers to spread it on because I am classy like that. A little more glue here. Make sure you get glue on every part. And then I'm just going to line this up inside the notebook with the page and try and get it as flat as possible to avoid rippling. And there we go. It's almost like it didn't happen. Almost. Actually, after a while you forget. And then I'm going to go back in and write the title I would prefer here. Just a little trick for when you make mistakes. And also, you're going to make mistakes. It's super okay. You don't have to be perfect. It's just a notebook to help you. Okay, I'm going to show you one last little trick. While I was traveling in Portland, I got these amazingly cute washi tapes, and I love using these to help me find pages quicker. And to do this, I actually edge the pages with the washi tape. I use gold for my months, and then I use the pattern ones for other stuff. So for the month of January, using that gold washi tape, I measured out the piece size, and I'm just going to lay the notebook down in a way that I can overhang the tape so it sticks off. And I'm going to flip it and fold as close to the edge of the book as possible, trying to get as smooth as possible. It takes a little practice to get good at this, but once you do, you got it. And see, and now you can see where that month is really quick. This comes in handy when you do specialized pages that you're going to refer back to over and over again, like a book list or a TV list. That way you can just see the edge and flip straight to it. So I'm also going to do this for my spring cleaning list because I know I'm going to reference back to this probably for a couple of months before I'm actually done spring cleaning. And for this page, I'm going to use the super cute little gold mushroom one. I love this washi tape. It's probably my favorite one that I picked up. All right, let's do a quick little flip through so you can see how it all turned out. I love it. It turned out so cute. I am super excited about using this spread. Okay, I'm going to hand you back to me.
Thank you for joining me, guys, for my first official month plan with me. I have got to get better at this. I had so much fun planning January. I was a little nerve-wracking, I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, drawing for you guys, I was very self-conscious of my pen strokes and my color choices and all that stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you are new, please subscribe for more stuff. I'm gonna keep doing this all year long. Also like my channel, because that does really actually help me out with the whole YouTube algorithm stuff. Again, reminder, all the links for the pins I've used I'm gonna put below, as well as anything else you guys want, my Pinterest board, my Instagram, my stuff. I'll put it all for you below. Oh yes, and I said this last time in the 2018 Plan With Me, if you duplicate anything that I do, I would love to see it. I love, love, love when you see how someone takes your work and changes it a little bit, because honestly, nothing I do is really all that original. So please, Instagram it, tag me, I will check it out. Let's rap about it. I'm so excited to join this community of bullet journals, and I think the funnest part is just having conversations about things. And lastly, any questions or comments below, I will do my absolute best to respond to every single comment and question, because I don't know, that's the point of YouTube, right? Interaction. So, all right, I'm gonna see you guys in February, but if I have any requests for videos between now and then, I'll try. All right.